Here are another episode of Girl Talk with J.Belle, where we talk to some of the most dopest and influential women in the Queen City. And here with me, I have the midday diva, Olympia D. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. It is a wonderful and blessed day, right? Hump day?
Hump Day Wednesday. We made it over the hump. Hopefully.
Exactly. Olympia D is the APD of our stations here in Charlotte. That is 927 The Block, Praise Charlotte, and Old School 105.3.
Yeah.
How did you get started in radio?
It began many moons ago. But no, really, seriously, I was coming out of my freshman year of college, and I did not want to go home for the summer. So I called the radio station. At that point in time, it's 107.3 Jams in Greenville, South Carolina. I talked to the jock, Double D, and I asked him, I said, hey, do you guys have any internships? He was like, yeah. He told me the person who I need to contact. I made the contact phone call to her, and the next thing I knew, I was walking into an interview, and she didn't really want to hire me.
Oh, wow.
But she ended up getting sick, and so they had a sticker stop. And back in the day, radio stations used to put bumper stickers on cars. So we would have this big ticket drive. You would come through, get your bumper sticker, and at the end of the line, they would hook you up with concert tickets and different things like that. So she needed some help, so she called me. She's like, Olympia, could you make it? And that was my first day of radio.
Wow.
On a Saturday.
So you just got thrown right into it.
Yep, thrown right into it. But that's kind of like the nature of the beast. That's how I learned the most. I have to be put into a situation. You could teach me all day by just talking to me, but I really won't know what to do until I'm directly dead center in the middle of everything. So that's how I learned the best.
Nice. Now you are an assistant program director. What are some of the duties that you do throughout the day with that role?
All right, so first and foremost, my show comes first. So I'm on from 10 until 3 on Old School 105.3, but I help to manage Old School 105.3, Praise 100.9, and also 92.7 The Block. My day consists of helping to manage several of the jocks and the part-time talent upstairs. I help to create their on-air schedule. I help to do the logs for Praise 100.9. What don't I do? Production, because you have to do your own commercials. Wow, a lot of different things. I forget some of the stuff that I do sometimes.
This is a very busy woman.
Yeah, because J.Nell, she was like, Olympia, I need to do this. And I'm like, I got time. But you know what? You know, at some point you try to find the time to get everything done. It is very hard sometimes, but for the most part, you know, it's a very enjoyable job, and I enjoy what I do. So
now you don't only do radio, you also do television here.
Right. I also work for WBTV as a WBTV Bounce TV as a guest contributor weekly. I'm on Fridays, 8 p.m. So if you guys get a chance, tune in and check it out. It's Raising Brilliance. It's kind of like bringing resources to the community. If you want your child to learn how to network and play golf, we got something for you. If you're trying to get your child college ready, we know different organizations that help out with that. So we try to make sure we link the parents and the kids to the resources in the city.
Oh, well, now how did you grab this gig? I mean, many people don't think that radio personalities can do television and radio at the same time. So how were you able to get this gig?
Actually, I got into TV period, because Barbara Bethea, she used to work for WACH in Columbia, Fox News. And I think she had been listening to my show. And so she decided that she was going to talk to my radio station at the time and see if I could potentially come over and host a makeover show. Her lead anchor was out sick for several months, and she needed someone to fill in for that show. So she asked me, went, and I did an awesome job, and she offered me a position. So, you know, throughout the years of me working in radio, I've kind of jumped back and forth between radio and TV as well.
Oh, wow. Now, we work in a male-dominated industry. With Black Music Month happening we're focusing on women in the industry that have very strong roles, and obviously you're one of those people. How are you able to stand above most men that are trying to push towards what you have going on?
You got to make yourself marketable. That's the only way to really be able to compete You got to be marketable. And one way to make yourself marketable is to learn as much as you can possibly learn. That has been something that I've been able to pride myself on doing. Whenever I walk into a radio station or any environment, I try to learn as much as I can possibly learn, because you never know what that skill set may help you do later on in the future. So you got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to do some of the things that maybe other people may not do. And sometimes you have to do some free stuff too. We want to get paid, but sometimes you have to be willing to just put yourself out there. And in being able to put yourself out there, you kind of open up the window of people being able to see who you are, the skill sets that you have, and just show people what you're made of.
Wow. Yeah, and that's real. So, everybody gets their start somewhere, and they learn from somebody else. Who are some of the influencers that helped you to get where you are?
Ooh, Rob Laidback. Let me tell you about him. I was an intern. I told you that was my first position when I first got into radio, and he was working the night shift at 107.3 Jams in Greenville. So he hosted this show, the Top 7 at 7. So I would be like, can I be on? And he would allow me to come in and run his board and just to kind of get the feel of the studio. And so it was people like Rob Laidback, people like Val Jones, Kelly Berry, Elise Stewart. Those were the people that were in the industry when I first got there. And they were not afraid to teach me. I come from a background of each one teach one, and they were very open and they were very honest and very helpful in helping to groom me into the person that I've become today.
Okay, all right. Well, let me ask you a little bit about music, since we are going into Black Music Month. Okay. These days we don't have as much R&B music going.
No.
It's all about old school, or you got your hip hop that's out right now. What do you feel made the big shift from going to having that R&B lane, to just we just have old school? Like, it's like our R&B today don't even exist. So how do you feel about that shift? How that change has affected?
It's very hard, because I'm sure there are some artists out there that would love to do R&B music, some true R&B music, and you still have some artists that are still trying to do the R&B music, but the hip hop and rap has pretty much taken over, and everybody wants to rap. And you even have some rappers, I was just talking to Charlie Wilson a couple of days, he was like, you even have some rappers that'll sing on it, knowing good and well they can't sing, but they'll try anyway. And the culture is just evolving, and you got to just move with the culture, and you just kind of be a part of what's going on, and being able to reinvent yourself. And that was the one thing that we were talking about is, Charlie Wilson. My daddy and my mama grew up on Charlie Wilson. I listened to Charlie Wilson, and now my baby listens to Charlie Wilson. So he's been able to transcend through 3 generations right there. And it's about being able to reinvent yourself, and he's done a marvelous job at that. And as we get older, the music will evolve, and they will still reach back the things that we know of being current right now. Eventually it's going to become old school, and they're going to reach back to that, and they're going to sample that, and it's going to be a whole new sound 20 years from now. So I think that's the beauty of music, is that they still pull from the old school to make their current music today.
Okay. So you got me caught off guard. I'm like, she going, I'm thinking of the next question, and I'm just like, longevity. Longevity in this business. Music, personalities go hand in hand. How do you feel as though you've been able to keep your career going when there's so many in and out changes are happening in the radio industry every day?
You got to be able to make yourself, like I said, marketable. Make yourself as irreplaceable as possible. Learn as much as you can learn, and keeping up with the times. Now we're in a very social media driven world. You gotta know social media. And I'll be honest with you, when I first came here, I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't on Instagram.
I remember us talking about
that. That was something that I kind of shunned away, because I'm like, I don't want people all up in my business. But that's the way of the world. People want to see what you're doing. They want to see what you look like. They want to see if your toes painted today. They want to see the most intricate, most personal parts of you. And that's the way that they do it now. So you almost have to get with it or get pushed to the side. So you got to be able to move with the culture and move with what the world is doing today. And like right now, we got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Snapchat has come along. I'm still not on Snapchat. I think I'm late. But there are so many different ways that, you know, things change, and you got to be willing to adapt to the new circumstances and situations. And that's the only way you're going to survive.
Well, if we have any type of motivational words for the women that are coming up in the industry today, up under you, what would you tell them?
Work hard. Work hard. Learn as much as you can learn. Don't be afraid to take risk. You know, before I had my daughter, I would always ask myself one question: can this hurt me? Can I die doing this? If the answer was no, I was gone. Now it's a little bit different because I have to consider her and how what I do will affect her. So I ask myself, you know, some different questions now, but for the most part, you know, if this is something that you would like to do, you got to be fearless. You can't be afraid to go. You can't be afraid of the no. You can't be afraid of failing, because you will fail.
Right.
People will tell you no. They will probably give you more no's than they will yeses. But you just got to go. You just got to go with it. You got to go with your gut feeling. You got to go with what you know your purpose is in life.
Wow. Well, Olympia D has kept me on point. And I've learned some new stuff today, new wisdom, new knowledge. If the people want to follow you, let them know what your social media is.
See, I'm on social media now, y'all. Back in the day, it wasn't. But no, you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Olympia D Show. It's real simple, real easy. OLYMPIA, the letter D, Show, SHOW.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Until next time, peace out.